Let's get right into it. If you think the Backrooms is just, an infinite maze of damp yellow wallpaper, you've honestly been looking at it completely wrong. The fundamental rules of this terrifying universe have just been totally rewritten. So stick around. We're breaking down the hidden cosmic truth behind A24's latest cinematic masterpiece, and we're going to solve the lore together. And hey, to show this isn't just some AI slop, but a genuinely educational and entertaining deep dive, do me a quick favor and hit that like button right now. It really helps this explainer out. Okay, let's dive into this. For years, the internet has obsessively asked, what exactly is this place? Is it a parallel dimension, a glitch in the simulation? But the terrifying reality hidden within the new film is that this maze isn't just some empty location. It's actually alive. Yep, you heard that right. But to understand how we got to this massive revelation, we first need to look at how this movie even got made. Chapter 1, From Meme to Masterpiece. We're looking at one of the most remarkable jumps in modern Hollywood history here. I mean, it literally starts back in 2019 with a super simple, anonymous 4chan creepypasta describing the madness of mono yellow. Then, fast forward to 2022, and a 20-year-old director named Kane Parsons drops a viral YouTube found footage series that absolutely shatters the internet. Fast forward again to 2026, and boom, it's a fully realized A24 feature film. The evolution of this IP is just blisteringly fast. But why does this specific concept work so incredibly well? Well, it all boils down to this: liminal space. It's that deeply unsettling feeling you get from off-kilter, empty, or transitional spaces. What's so brilliant about Parsons' film is how it captures the pure dread of endless, buzzing fluorescent lights and stained carpets, and it does it without relying on the typical horror crutch of darkness. You can see everything perfectly in the Backrooms, and honestly, that hypervisibility is exactly why it feels so intensely horrifying. It plays on something incredibly deep in our human psyche. Just think about it for a second. Have you ever had a liminal nightmare? You know, being stuck in an endless school hallway after hours, a totally empty shopping mall, or a windowless waiting room that just loops forever. Drop a comment below if you've ever experienced a nightmare in a transitional space like that. Because that exact creeping feeling is what this movie weaponizes against its own characters. Chapter 2, Trapped in the Loop. And this brilliantly illustrates the genius of this A24 adaptation. It perfectly grounds abstract supernatural horror into super mundane human trauma. Take Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire, a depressing, failing 1990s furniture store where our protagonist Clark literally sleeps in the display beds. Compare that to The Backrooms, a bizarre, unending maze of surreal recycled architecture. Clark's sad, cyclical real-world loop is a direct, undeniable mirror of the infinite reality-bending architecture he inevitably gets trapped in. And the critics? They absolutely recognized this incredible depth. The Guardian points out that Oscar nominees Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renate Reinsve give barnstormingly good performances. I mean, it's incredibly rare for an internet-born horror concept to secure actors of this caliber, but they completely elevate the film beyond your standard jump scare tropes, injecting a really raw emotional reality into all that surrealism. Basically, both of our leads are walled up in their own failures. Clark is a failed architect running a dead-end store, and Mary is a gentle therapist marketing self-help tapes while being haunted by her childhood. Both are trapped by these deep psychological loops. Mary actually wrote a book called The Window Within, which directly connects the physical spaces we inhabit to our internal mental traumas. It's a huge clue for what's really going on. Which brings us to the most terrifying question of this entire explainer. How does the space actually function? Like, if the Backrooms mirror our internal trauma, what is physically happening when Clark steps through that wall? Well, eagle-eyed fans noticed a tiny, hidden detail in the film's teaser trailer, and it reveals a remarkably dark, cosmic truth about the very nature of this universe. Chapter 3, Solving the Backrooms Lore. Now, what's really interesting about this next piece is that for years, the internet debated factions and monster origins, but a meticulously detailed theory recently exploded on Reddit, and it hinges entirely on one specific line of dialogue from Ejiofor's character in the teaser trailer. Describing the endless rooms, he says, "This place builds them." Actually, scratch that. More like it remembers them. That one single word, remembers, completely recontextualizes the entire franchise. This little detail sparked what fans are calling the living memory theory. The core concept here is that the Backrooms isn't some physically constructed dimension. It wasn't built by a bunch of cosmic construction workers, right? Instead, it's a living, expanding consciousness.
The rooms are literally thought into existence by an entity that is constantly remembering its spaces.
Let's walk through the exact mechanics of how this nightmare operates. Step 1. The entity remembers a room. Step 2. As it remembers it over millions and millions of repetitions, the memory degrades. It's like a photocopy of a photocopy. Step 3. The space eventually breaks down into an unstable zone. This perfectly explains why level 0, that iconic yellow wallpaper maze, is so empty. It's an ancient memory. It's just the faded yellow skeleton of a forgotten thought. So the crucial point is that this completely redefines the danger of the maze. Those dark, glitchy, unstable zones, they're dying thoughts happening in real time. When someone no-clips or falls through the floor, they aren't teleporting randomly. They're falling through a hole in a dying memory into an even older, more degraded memory underneath. And the monsters, there's no way they're aliens. They are heavily degraded memories of humans. The entity simply forgot what a human actually looks like. Crazy, right? And we actually have confirmation that this deep psychological angle was totally intentional. In a recent CBR interview, director Kane Parsons reinforced this, saying these things are symbiotic. They sort of settle each other somehow. The Backrooms literally feeds on the memories and trauma of its wanderers. And in a twisted, horrifying way, the wanderers kind of need the Backrooms to physically manifest their mental loops. It's not just a maze. It is a massive graveyard of memories that just keeps growing with every single person who gets lost inside it. If your mind is blown by this lore right now, do me a massive favor and hit that share button so your friends can fall down this exact same rabbit hole too. Chapter 4, The Final No-Clap. Let's move to the ultimate takeaway and see how this builds into something incredible. We really have to step back and appreciate what Kane Parsons has achieved here. He translated the abstract isolation of the internet into an absolutely character-driven triumph. Because ultimately, the monsters are the loops we build in our own minds. The Backrooms isn't just a physical place you stumble into, it is the physical manifestation of the psychological ruts we simply cannot escape. It's a mirror reflecting our most isolated, degraded selves right back at us. Which leaves us with one final, deeply haunting question to ponder today. If the Backrooms is built from the loops, the habits, and the traumas we carry with us, what does your Backrooms look like? Thank you so much for exploring this incredible explainer with me. If you got something out of this, make sure to hit subscribe and click the next explainer on your screen right now so we can keep diving into the most fascinating lore out there. See you in the next one.